everybody's starting their 2020 decade off with a bang. Today we're working on our kitchen renovation, a section of the kitchen. But since I don't have time to cook today, I'm going to be making a pot roast. And what I call the perfect pot roast. And this is going to be for 2 people. So if you have a bigger family, all you're going to need to do is just buy your slab of meat in a larger portion. I'm using about 2.5 pounds, a little over 2.5 pounds of chuck pot roast today, and we're going to let it cook all day in the slow cooker. But I'm going to show you how I throw it together, and you just set it and forget it. It's super easy. High. So let's get started. And I've got the chuck roast already in here. It does have a little bit of fat marble. You don't want super lean pot roast because it's going to be dry. You do want some of the fat so that it moisturizes that meat, and it's just super important. Okay, I'm gonna flour the top of this really good because this is what's gonna thicken and give you a really good pot roast with the flour on top, and I've sort of like spread it out and mashed it in the meat. You can brown this meat before you put it in your crock pot. I'm not going to go to that trouble because in my experience, I never look for crispy crust, or it doesn't really help it in any way. I've always believed that's just a myth. It does help seal in the meat, or the juices of the meat, that's for sure. But for the purposes of today, I'm not gonna brown it. We're gonna add 2 cups of water. And you never want to use your crock pot without moisture in it, even if it's a half a cup of water. You really want to make sure you keep moisture, because that's the whole premise of a crock pot, is to have to use the steam. So next I'm going to use some beef broth. And this is the powdered form, but you could use fresh beef broth, or I would highly recommend bone broth if you have it. So we're going to use 2 heaping tablespoons of this. And you got to watch this because it has quite a bit of salt in it. So I'm not going to be heavily seasoning my pot roast until the end. Okay, the next ingredient we're going to add is going to be garlic. I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of garlic. And I'm going to use some Lowry seasoning. I'm going to drop a bay leaf in there. I'm going to use some Creole seasoning. And some thyme. You always should season your beef with thyme for some reason. This herb goes very well with beef. Probably 1.5 teaspoons of thyme. Okay, this is going to get us started. I'm also going to add some onions. I'm going to use dehydrated, but you could use fresh onions. We're going to add a few dehydrated bell peppers, but add fresh if you have it. Okay. We're going to let this cook for about 5 to 6 hours. And then we're going to come back and add our vegetables. Because they don't take as much time to cook. And if we cook them for a whole day, we're going to have really mushy vegetables. And I don't want to do that. So, we're going to... we need to make sure this bay leaf is down in our liquid. Okay, so I'll come back halfway today and stir it up. Make sure that the seasonings are getting mixed up, but we'll be back when we're ready to add the pot roast is cooking down. The gravy's doing really good. I've added some fingerling carrots, or baby carrots, and I'm going to start adding my potatoes. And these should take, in a crock pot, about 45 minutes to an hour. I've cut these pretty small. And I'm using a yellow gold potato. It's one of my favorite potatoes because you don't have to peel it and it cooks really fast. I just love this type of potato. Saves a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on it and we'll come back and give it another at least an hour, hour and a half, and check the tenderness of our roast, the thickness of our gravy, and all of our seasonings, as well as see if the potatoes and carrots are done. Our pot roast is done. Let's see how tender everything is. Here's some of the meat. Oh yeah. Super tender. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll try my perfect pot roast and let me know what you think. Everybody have a blessed day. Find somebody to bless, and I'll see you guys on the next video.